I would suggest you go ahead and turn your chair so you can see the screen. Our objective for the next half hour or so is to have a little fun. And I'm going to wait till it appears that we're ready. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to speak to you for a minute or two, and then we're going to get into a competition. And I have these really high-priced gifts that I'm going to be giving away to you. You'll compete by table against table. Okay? So we'll test your knowledge and help you with answers if you need them. It's all about getting into your zone. You know the picture. You see it every time you come to my office. It's all about you making the most out of your life where you have confidence in your future that you'll achieve or exceed all your goals, and you're doing it without committing life sacrifice. What's that? That's leaving money on the table when you wanted to spend it. Okay? No need with us to be secure by essentially wasting your own wealth by not using it. So, confidence without sacrifice. That's what it's all about. And you know you've got it when you're in your zone. You know the colors. Blue, you're sacrificing life. You have excess wealth and you're not utilizing it. Red, you have a very uncertain future. We want you in the gold, and that's what it's about for us. It always tends to lead to a work-optional lifestyle. Even when you're retired, you tend to pursue professional interest, and it never stops. It's about getting out of the boxes of life, always working and then always playing. Instead, it becomes a combination where you and you alone dictate how much time you spend in your pursuits oriented to your professions and your professional interests, and how much time you play. And that's when you're the master of your own ship. As time passes, it tends to become important to you that you have a legacy of some shape or form, often involving money, so that you can care for those you leave behind. And we watch that transition where it begins with work optional lifestyles and then starts to include family investment legacies. For us, that tends to be what making the most of your life often means. What stops investors from finding their zone? What stops them? Investors who fail, first, misunderstand what they can control and what they cannot control. And our industry loves to help you do this. Our industry and the naive believe that they can control their investment return. And it's a complete fallacy. Markets are too big, too fast, often too efficient for any of us to know what they're going to do. And think about it, if you can't predict, how could you ever possibly expect to outperform? On the other hand, there are things that you can control. You can control cost, you can control tax, you can control risk and the asset allocation that goes with it. You can control your goals. And with that, you can find your way into your zone. Not knowing how to trade off to get more benefit without more money. That's the second way investors tend to fail. It is possible for you, in a very measured way, to compromise goals you care less about to get substantially more of the goals that you value the most. more benefit without more money. If you don't know how to do that, you're not going to make the most out of your life. Third, failing to manage uncertainty effectively. Failing to manage uncertainty effectively. The way you manage something you can't control, something you can't predict, is you, on a continuous basis, measure its effect upon you, and when that effect is material, you adapt to it using what you control. That measurement process is using probabilities that look forward, not statements that look backwards. Fourth, investors fail because of not making real-time adjustments to avoid the risk of failure. Think about it. We're always concerned when the market drops. And we extrapolate that into a future that could lead to despair. If you're continuously measuring the effects upon you and you identify early when your achievement of your goals are in jeopardy, at that point you can make adjustments, small adjustments in a measured way to your goals to restore your confidence. Therefore, you never truly take the risk of failure, only the risk that you have to change your plan. And fifth, investors who fail miss opportunities to capture excess wealth as it's created. You know we plan for the worst, so you can expect something better. In that regard, as excess wealth is created, you owe it to yourself to capture that wealth and place it into your plan in some way, now or in the future. This way you're fully utilizing your capability. You need to capture that wealth on an ongoing basis because a dynamic market creates it at unpredictable times. That's why you continuously monitor, seek the ability to capture excess wealth, and then you can apply it to your plan. So, what we're going to do is go through these 5 critical errors investors make. I'm going to put a phrase on the screen and read it to you. And your job, competing as tables, is to say whether it's yes for true or no for false for each statement that I bring up. Okay? To help you, there are little buzzers on the table. So you want to, don't worry about the maybe buzzer if it's out there. Get the yes buzzer and the no buzzer in front of you. What I'd like you to do is hit the yes buzzer so you know what it sounds like. Go ahead. Okay. Now those aren't real loud, so you can also say yes when you hit the yes buzzer, or no. Add all the inflections you'd like. But so you want to hit yes or no based on whether you think it's true or false. Yes for true, no for false. Our first category is misunderstanding what is controllable and what is not. Various indicators in combination help us to know when to go to cash and when to return to stock. Well, hit their buzzers. Very good. Bonnie, while you sit down, you got to be up. You got to be telling me who's winning this. Okay. That is correct. This is a no, because you know that there really are no professional money managers that know what the market's going to do, and certainly no investors. And if you don't know, how in the world are you ever going to be able to realize the right timing? Next question. Past performance indicates future results. No. Hey, well-trained audience. I like this. Okay. The better money managers can be relied upon to outperform the market. No. I'm liking this. Well, this makes my job easy. In the last 10 years, 80% of money managers underperformed their market benchmarks. Yes, yes, absolutely. Investors are famous for buying low and selling high. No. Anybody who said yes, you're doomed. No, you're done. Figured you say that. You know you're lying. Okay, that's a no. Average investors earn significantly less than returns of the investments they own. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, that's accurate. About 50 to 70% of what their actual investments earn, and that's not due to fees. That's due to bad behavior. They just can't hold their positions, and they typically do what? They buy high, they sell low. And all it takes is once, and they render themselves non-competitive. Short-term market returns are random. Yes or no? Yes. Yes, baby. Short-term market returns are random. You see, don't take it from me, take it from Nassim Taleb, the leading mathematical trader on Wall Street. For 18 years, he wrote a book called Fooled by Randomness. And he said very clearly, randomness in a system is determined by the size of the universe being evaluated and the skill level of the participants on average. Think of the market. What is it? Large group and with very low skill. So what do you get? Randomness. And it doesn't matter how smart you are, it doesn't matter how good you are, it doesn't matter how great you think you are. Randomness can't be beaten. Controlling costs and tax can save most clients thousands of dollars per year. Yes. Yes, and we're doing it. Because it's controllable. If it's controllable, take action, location management, personalized rebalancing, tax loss harvesting. We all benefit from that. Owning more stock than needed for higher return potential is prudent. No. Very good. No. No, that is accurate. You know, the truth of the matter is you got to worry about how much you lose when times are bad, right? What's more powerful, making more or losing less? The shorter your time window, losing less. Your emotion is desperately needed to set goals and priorities, not for investment decisions. I failed. The answer is yes. Yes. Let me read it again. Your emotion is desperately needed to set goals and priorities, not for investment decisions. Boy, wait till you hear some of the ones coming. That's what I'm going to get you. Your emotion is desperately needed. We want your emotion in your goals, in your priorities, your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations. That's how we build a plan that means the most to you and helps you make the most out of your life. Put the emotion there. When it comes to what investments you own, please. That is a cold, hard, objective evaluation. Don't need any emotion there. Draw the line. Know where it goes. Where does the emotion go? Goals. Priorities. Okay, so what table won the first round? Where are we at? Any ideas? Sharon, you're not giving me any guidance here. I'm looking kind of bad. Where? Do five. Oh, okay, that sounds great answer. Bonnie, no overwhelming winners over there? You're a lot of help, Bonnie. Thank you. Where's table 5? Okay, table 5. Okay, now.
We only missed your question.
I understand. Okay, well, listen, if you don't take the advice of this last section, I'd say you could get pretty nervous. So here are some customized, just relax, fidget devices.
Just what I wanted.
I thought you could use these.
Always wanted one.
You got a fidget device now, I'm telling you. These are high-speed, low-drag, awesome devices, I'm telling you. You're going to love them.
To get our emotions involved.
All right, here you go. That's for your presentation later this year, Walt. Just consider to play with this thing.
I go fishing with you that way.
Not knowing how to trade off to get more benefit without more money. That's the second way investors typically fail. They fail to recognize that they can compromise what they care less about to get substantially more of what they value the most. Not any more money, and they got a better life. But too many investors don't know how to measure when they do that, and they don't just think simply about it. So which is yes and which is no? Is this a good trade-off? Working one more year to increase annual income, retirement income, by $3,000 per year. Now, it might not be a fit for you personally, but you recognize the trade-off, a compromise for a benefit. That's correct. Hey, let me hear those buzzers again. Hit yes. Yes. All right. Okay. You know, I got to get some use out of these buzzers, so you got to ring them, all right?
You can get your use out of the no button when Bonnie's around.
Yeah, there you go. No! Reducing annual income by $3,000 per year so you can spend $50,000 in a lump sum to remodel your home. Yes or no? Yes. Yes, absolutely. Sure, the bottom line is you're getting a benefit for a compromise. And this type of thing is extremely feasible. And depending on how many years in retirement, you'd be amazed how little you have to lower your retirement income to get a juicy lump sum. Is this a good trade-off? Increasing annual savings to reduce annual income? Yes or no? Now, Rick, you've heard this 3 times. You can't do that. Everybody hit their nose. No. No, it's not, because it's a compromise for a compromise. That's not a trade-off. Not a compromise for a compromise. Increasing risk exposure to stock can create substantial material benefits for those within 10 years of retirement. I like that, yeah. Good. I mean, no. That is correct. In fact, you could actually see an increase in your confidence for a reduction of risk once you're close to retirement or in retirement, simply by reducing the potential for a large decline. One of the easiest benefits to achieve through trading off is a small, singular lump sum. Yes or no? Okay, good job. Hit your yes buttons. Hit them.
You got a winner back there, Bo.
Yes, that's accurate. Very good. You see, a small singular lump sum doesn't put your portfolio under a lot of pressure. Think of that versus a recurring expense for 20 years. Small singular lump sum, easy to achieve. One of the easiest compromises to make is removing an inflationary increase for 3 years. Yes, absolutely it is. Think about it. If you're in a corner and you have to reduce your spending, it's a lot easier to leave your spending the same and bypass an inflationary increase for a few years, incorporating a reduction in income where you don't have to reduce actual dollars. So that can be very effective. I like that. You're catching on. We're good. Okay. So it's all about trading off. Who's my winner today? I think we'll give it to table 8. Good job, you guys. Now listen, if you ever fail to trade off properly, you're probably not getting much, so you should at least have some popcorn.
Okay.
Thank you.
You get a catch, Kathy. There you go. Okay, third, investors fail often for the fact that they don't know how to manage uncertainty effectively. So which is yes and which is no? The premise behind managing uncertainty means you accept variance in your portfolio. Yes or no? Yes. Yes. Probabilities look forward, statements look backwards. Yes. Yes. And if you're going to manage, how effective is it to manage looking backwards? You got to manage looking forward. Okay? Use probabilities to understand the odds of excess in your future. Yes or no? Yes. When values change and your probabilities leave you underfunded or overfunded, alter your investments to improve your returns. No. No. Hit the no button. No. No. All right. That's accurate because you're not in control of the return your investments earn. When values change and your probabilities leave you underfunded or overfunded, adjust what you control to restore confidence, not returns that you cannot. Yes. Yes.
Every once in a while.
Invest as a return getter. Always seek more. Hit the nose. If what you're after is a return or even dollars unto themselves, no amount will ever be enough. Invest as a risk manager. Seek enough based on goals. Yes. Yes, baby. That's right. Okay. Who won? Figure, okay. Well, listen. In terms of managing uncertainty, if you fail to do that, bear markets are going to bother you a lot more than they should. So I got you this bear repellent spray. Now, believe it or not, I used this 15 years ago. And since I used it 15 years ago, it's been sitting in my basement. So be careful because it's a breath spray. You never know what may come out of this thing. I'm just kidding, it's new. Here you go.
Oh, goody. Thank you, Mom.
Least we can do. Hey, Dick.
Thank you.
Sure.
Sentiment.
Pat, you get one. There you go.
Thank you.
Okay, 2 sections left. The fourth thing investors tend to do wrong is not making real-time adjustments to escape the risk of failure. Which is yes and which is no. Escaping the risk of failure means changing your portfolio to avoid loss. No. You're catching on to the trend here, I think. Escaping the risk of failure means making small, livable adjustments to your goals in real time to restore confidence. Yes. Adjusting goals from 65% confidence is easier than adjusting from 35%. Say yes. Absolutely it is. How do you do that? How can you be sure to do that? Constantly monitor. Never stop monitoring. We do that for you. A lower confidence in our comfort zone of 77% requires us to make plan changes. That's pretty good. I like that. Yeah. Is this a yes or a no? This is where we separate the winners and losers. Is it yes? Is it no? I'm hearing silence in this area of the room. What is it? Okay. It's actually does not require us to make plan changes. So the answer is no. 77% confidence is still in the gold. It turns red below 75%. And if you wanted to evaluate the actual probability at 77%, let's talk about how bad that market is. It's a market so bad that if I go to the crash of 1929 and I start 4 months later after that crash started, that plan will work. So 77% confidence, even though it's close to the red, you got to realize how conservatively constructed our probabilities are. And that's why if you're at 77% confidence, you're good. No need to worry. It's a mistake to remain underfunded at the same level for 3 months. Yes or no? No. It's okay. Okay? 3 years? No. 3 months? Not a problem. Okay, this is the last question for this section. If you get this, you're winning. Okay? Taking 12 vacations costing $10,000 each consumes more confidence than a fixed vacation expense of $6,000 per year over a typical retirement lifetime. Somebody who hasn't gotten a... Okay, somebody who has not won yet, be bold. Okay, this is the hardest question that I have for you. The answer is no. Okay? You think about the length of a normal retirement lifetime. It's in excess of 20 years. Okay? And 10 or 12 singular $10,000 lump sums would not impact your plan as much as a fixed $6,000 every year of your retirement. And it sends a message to you. And the message is, if you're looking to get the most out of your money, think in individual lump sum goals, and you will get a lot more out of your portfolio than when you think of recurring goals. So if you love to travel, instead of saying, I want a $20,000 a year travel budget, and you find the $20,000 a year travel budget doesn't work, you'd be amazed if you started setting up $20,000 lump sums at periods of time throughout your retirement and see how close you can get. You would be amazed. So start thinking of individual lump sum goals to achieve what you want in life, and your money will go a lot farther. Okay? Who won this one?
Hey, number 3 did.
You know, I can't turn that down. It's all right. Okay. Hey, Bert, I want you to understand, okay? If you don't know how to manage so you can escape the risk of failure, You're going to need these Band-Aids.
Oh my gosh, that was cute.
Go, Mike.
Thank you.
Give me that smile, Carmela. Here you go, you bet.
How many times you have to give somebody a Band-Aid?
That's right. Okay, this is our last round. Investors fail to, and they essentially miss opportunities to capture excess wealth as it's created. This is critical because there's more work in your plan after you have a plan, monitoring and adjusting and replanning, far more work to that and more opportunity than when you initially build a plan. So which is yes and which is no? When your estate is not a goal, not spending your wealth during your life is the same as losing it. Yes. Yes. That's accurate. If you've got money and you're going to end up leaving it, you can see it, we're going over it in the plan, and you don't care about your estate, rethink. Rethink. Market simulations above 90% produce returns comparable to what happens when the Great Depression started every month for the rest of your life. Yes or no?
I'll say yes.
Yes. Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. The first month of the Great Depression, repeated over and over and over again for the rest of your life. Think of how bad that market is. That's the level of the simulations above 90%. Do you want to be in the blue when you have a plan that works in that kind of environment? No. Totally sacrificing your life if you do that. A simulation of the market that is so bad it has never happened before is 83%. Dead in the middle of the gold. Right where we want you. It's a simulation of a market that's so bad it's never happened. Anybody else? Hit the buzzer. Come on, these things are going to go in the attic for the next 20 years. Yes. Yes. That's right. Yes. At 82%, I mean, they're only simulations, all right, but they are comparable at 82% to the worst market that ever happened. So at 83%, they're worse than what has ever happened. Okay? Increasing risk when overfunded will likely restore confidence. No. Decreasing risk would, not increasing. Taking a lump sum to restore confidence from overfunding is both reasonable and problematic. Come on, don't poop out on me. We're almost done. Yes, yes. Here's why. First of all, taking the lump sum to reduce your funded status works. That's reasonable. That's fine. And you can do it. But imagine the market going down after you did that. So you're overfunded. You take a lump sum, and now you're properly funded. Then the market goes down, and now you become underfunded. Now you end up reducing the level of quality of your plan originally, prior to taking that lump sum from being overfunded. So you end up compromising something beyond what you might have expected. If you had only taken a lump sum partially using your confidence and putting the rest, say, towards income, becoming underfunded after the fact would cause you just to go back to where you were before, perhaps. But now you would have to go to something lower. All right, because you took 100% of the benefit you earned from being overfunded in one singular sum. Follow? Okay. I'll teach you later. Okay, last question. We plan for average lifetime experiences so you are equally likely to be underfunded as well as overfunded in your future. Yes or no? Finally got you, Sharon. The answer is no. Okay? We plan for the worst. We plan for the worst. The simulation that we start the plan at, as you heard earlier, is so bad it's never happened. Did your mom ever tell you plan for the worst and hope for the best? We plan for the worst so you can expect something better, so therefore what are you more likely to do? Always more likely to become overfunded. Always more likely to become overfunded. So who's our next winner?
Sharon?
Where? Hey Sharon, you gotta stop Bert here. Well, listen. If you don't know how to capture excess wealth, I got to at least do something nice for you and get you thinking positive. So here are some fortune cookies. And they have a special fortune for you in here. Very special.
Thank you.
You bet. Is Joe still here or is he on?
He's out there on the
Is
phone.
he? Is he? Okay, there's his cookie. Here you go. Nice to see you, Irma.
Nice to see you too.
Here you go. I ate all the ones that were broken. Here you go. Here you go, Dave. Well, we have not taken care of all the tables, so I actually have some brain teasers. So which tables are left? 10. We have 10 left. I like that. Okay, we'll start over here and you can guide me. 10 and 4 to start, okay. Table number 10, you've got to answer this question, okay? If we take no market risk, we face what type of risk? What's another type of risk out there besides market risk? Awesome. Awesome. The right answer.
Good.
The answer was inflation risk. Right? When you deal with the bank rate of return, it's always to cover inflation and tax. That's the capital preservation rate. And then you take market risk to get a return higher than that. Right? So take the market risk away, what would be left is just an inflation covering return, which then when you go to spend, you deplete. So obviously inflation is damaging, so here are some Band-Aids. Joe, take a Band-Aid. Very good. Sure. There you go.
There's been so much talk lately about inflation and interest rates going up.
Let's see. Okay, who's up next? Table 4. We've got some good ones here. Real characters. I know she's got all the buttons. All right. Renee, you're good. Don't worry. You can't use a button.
to retire, so I can't.
You can't answer with a yes or no on these anyways. If your total return is 5%, is your real return the same, more, or less? What do you think, Renee?
It's a maybe.
Okay, maybe. That's the right answer. Okay. It's less.
Maybe it's right, and maybe it's more, maybe it's less.
And take some bear repellent breast spray.
That is nasty.
Take 2. They're new, I promise.
Yeah, right.
Here you go. From the total return, you have to subtract inflation and tax to get to your real return, which would be less. Okay. Who's left here? Who's left that we haven't had? 2, though. We've got 2. Okay. You ready, George and George? All right. At 83% confidence, we are likely to meet goals or exceed them.
Yes.
That you can't say yes. You got to say, are we going to meet them or are we going to exceed them?
Exceed.
Exceed them, absolutely. Because at an 83% confidence, think about it, we use 1,000 simulations and 830 of them you are achieving your objectives, so clearly you're most likely to exceed your goals. Have some popcorn.
Thank you. Thank you.
You bet.
I was sent $100 bills.
Hey, you never know what may come still tonight. Now, I got a whole lot of all this extra stuff, so I'm going to leave it up here for you guys to take when we're done. Our next table, left. Who's left? Ah. Okay, I don't want to be in your way here. So here's your next question. You look overwhelmed, Leo. Define risk. Hard question this late, isn't it? Define risk. It's simpler than you think. Would you like some help?
Yes.
Anybody want to help, Leo?
Potential gain or loss.
Not bad. How about, what else? What else could you say?
Taking a chance.
Okay, taking a chance. How about this? The chance that what you want won't come true. That's risk. The chance that what you want won't come true. That's why we take the least of it that we can. Okay? But don't get nervous about it. Here's a fidget.
I like those.
There you go. You bet, anytime. Sure, Al. Who do we have left? Anybody? Any tables? Two. Seven. Okay, we got it. Here comes your question, table 7.
I'm sending your prize out. We can define risk.
You can. 95% of our money is made in what percent of the time? 95% of our money is made in what percent of the time? What do you think? Hey, Joe, what do you think? Think low, Joe.
10%.
Throw out a number.
10%.
10% lower. 5%. Go lower.
1%.
2.
Lower. 1% of the time.
1%.
Well, thank you.
And that means you'll have very good fortunes ahead.
Thank you. Thank you.
95% of your money made in 1% of the time.
Thank you.
By all means, try to time the market. Do we have anybody left? Any tables? No, we all have our extensive, wealthy, and lucrative gifts. Boy, I tell you. Rick, I feel bad for you sitting there alone, not being able to compete here.
Thank you.
You know, I want you to know one of the greatest gifts that you can have is peace of mind. Peace of mind, it's so valuable because you have confidence in your future and you know you're not sacrificing your life. That's what being in your zone is all about. So in that regard, it's the greatest gift that anybody could have. And you know, that value is so obvious, sometimes you overlook it. Sometimes you're sitting on value and you don't even know it. So make sure you look under your chair before you leave tonight. Okay? It's really been a pleasure. See you soon. Joe, you gotta go look under your chair, man.
I heard it.